Broadcasting live from the Method Made Design Lab. Greetings and thank you for joining with us for this episode of the Method Makers Podcast. In this episode, we'll be taking a journey into the creativity of one of the Bay Area's dopest style writers, father and good friend to the Method Makers, Mr. Ether One. We'll be diving deep into what it's like to paint as an anonymous artist, his creative influences, where his creativity comes from, his background, his childhood, and the navigation through the challenges of life, and what brought him into the space he's in now. So without any further ado, the homie, artist, father of the year, Mr. Ether One. Today, much love for being here, bro. How are you today, man? How's everything?
Pretty good. Everything's blessed, man. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just got done riding my bike and enjoying the weather before it gets bad or before starts raining and everything. So yeah, man. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. So just kind of getting into this, I've just personally, I've followed your work, living in the Bay Area pretty much my whole life. I've seen your work on the street. I think on Mission Boulevard, I've caught a tag, just driving, and I've also seen your work numerous places, from slaps to walls. I've seen pieces, I've seen cutty tags, and I've even been at the bottom of an engine bay of all places, or like a oil change bay, and I won't say where, but it was just funny because I saw one of your tags, just this random place, like this oil change spot. And I was like, is that an Ether tag? And I remember some of the homies that were working there, they were like, yeah, the homie used to work here. I was like, oh shit, for real? He's like, yeah, you want to see more pieces? And they let me down to the engine, to the bay where all the stuff happens when you do the oil change. And I was like, no fucking way, dude. And so of course, I was there, it was years ago. I was taking photos, and I think you must have had an Instagram account at that time, and I must have slid you through a DM a few of the photos of the shit that I saw. That stuff is still on my phone, and I haven't posted it yet. There might have been some things I haven't posted, but who knows? For this show, since we're doing something together,
I get around a bit, man.
What's that?
I said I get around a bit.
Yeah. So I appreciate that for sure.
Yeah.
So I guess one of the questions I have is, how long you been writing? How long you been writing Ether, and in general, how long you been writing?
So I've been writing probably since 01.
Okay.
2001. I think Ether came in 2003.
Okay.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with the name?
So I have a buddy, and he was trying to get me to tag boils, and I was like, I don't like that. It doesn't work for me, right? So then he threw Ether at me, and I was like, wrote it down, tried it out. It's kind of symmetrical. I was like, I can do this, and just took it from there and blew up, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And so I think when we had talked a couple times ago, you'd mentioned that there was another writer named Ether in the city.
Yeah.
And my boy G, we were talking about Ether, and he's also in the show too. And so he was asking, oh, is this the Ether, the writer from the city, who was active years ago, probably in the early 90s or mid 90s or something? And I was like, I don't think so, because I think me and Ether are probably close to the same age, which would make him in junior high writing Ether. So I don't know if that's the same dude.
Oh, no. So that was a different guy. He tagged a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? I really respect his art. He got up, man. He killed it, especially in the city. But I got into this before social media. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we really didn't cross paths. So I didn't see any of his work.
Yeah.
Went out to the city a little older.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I still see him. He gets up with the markers here and there. You know what I mean? But we talked years back. You know what I mean? He's like, hey man, you're killing it. Do your thing. It's all good. So it was all good vibes. It was all there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then and I will also address when I was in the Philippines with Gats, Doty, and basically, riders come through Metro Manila, and you see slaps, and you see tags and graph, just like people that get up, and a number of riders from the Bay Area. Like we've seen Udon stuff there. We've seen um, a number of cats like from around the world, and one of the ones that stood out was Utah Ether, like the Bonnie and Clyde of graffiti, or whatever you want to call them. Are you guys aware of each other, like the Ether from Utah Ether?
I mean, I'm aware of them. I've seen this stuff. I've been to places where I've seen this stuff.
Yeah,
A lot of people give me shit over that, but I mean, to each their own. You know what I mean? That dude's abroad. I'm here. Ask
yeah,
anybody today.
yep,
It's me. You know what I mean? And I
yeah.
mean, it is what it is. He wants to come out here. We could see who gets up more. We can handle it.
Right. Yeah, for sure. That's cool, man. Yeah, I think there's definitely a difference in style too. Like when we talk about style limit and like style code or whatever. Like I would definitely say, if you don't mind me saying, like you're definitely a style writer. Like there's
Like,
definitely some form of, like, every time I've seen, I will actually say I don't think I've seen two types of ethers written on a wall where it was exactly the same. And I don't know if like that's like what you're trying to accomplish, but like I will say, you know, when I've seen certain writers work, and even some of the ones I'm really close to, there's some kind of consistency, or some kind of similarity between the work. But like for yours, I will have to say, like, thing I comment you on is like, bro, to have so much creativity flow directly through your hands, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that says that says something.
yeah, man. So unless it's my throwy, I try to do something different every time. I
Yeah,
mean, I will, remake styles or repeat styles every now and then, but I try not to do that. I don't know. It's just something in myself. Something what makes me want to push myself harder.
yeah,
Uh, yeah. So it's just something within me. But yeah, man, I definitely try to come different on the wall every time, man.
that's pretty dope, man. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I
Thank
will
you.
say, like, like I'd asked you if the team could grab some photos, if you had any that you could share, and you're like, just take whatever you can from Instagram. And so we did that, and I'm like looking through it, it's like, dude, how do we not just take every single photo that you have in your feed and post it in ours? You know what I mean? Like there's so much, like it's so much fucking dopeness. I don't know like how else to explain it, man. Like it's legit. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, so yeah, like much props to you. I will say, like, if we put all three ethers in one room, like, you definitely would kill everybody in style. So there's no
Yeah, man.
question there. I think that's the thing that makes you stand out and makes you one of a kind. You know what I mean?
Thank
um so yeah, you have my vote hands down for sure.
you.
um so speaking on writers though, are there any writers, well, first of all, before getting into writers, I wanted to find out, this is a question I ask a lot of the artists that we connect with. Do you
Mhm.
have like where did your what is it that attracted you to graph, and what is it that attracted you to, want to put your work in the street? Like is there something from your childhood that connects to, what you're doing now? Like, can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I really got into art probably when I was about 6 or 7.
Okay.
And I had all these comic books and all these Marvel posters on my wall and all this. And it really caught my eye. I was really into it, but I really wasn't into the storyline. I was more into the art. You know what I mean? I'd see
Yeah.
it, shading and all that. So I started mimicking those like to the T, and just looking at it, sketching on my bed. Looking at the wall, sketching on my bed, and that's what art just caught me really. And after that, it just took off, man. And then I say about the year 2000, I met this kid, Gobster. And the guy's crazy, man. He was on every bus and every sign everywhere I went. And I finally met him.
Yeah.
Started hanging out with him, and I was just like, he's like, dude, you're at every spot with me. Why don't you just start getting up?
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it. He gave me a marker and woo, it took over, man. It took
Yeah.
over for
Yeah.
sure. For
So
sure.
the homie Acme, we were talking about Gobster, like, you handed us slaps, and so of course, like, naturally I'm gonna give it to the crew, right?
Yeah,
So
for
I give
sure.
it to Acme. He's like, yo, Gobster, I remember Gobster. Like early
Yeah,
2000s, he starts telling stories about like high school and shit like that, and was just um like, I remember Gobster, man. Oh shit, like this fool's still writing, and man, like Ether and Gobster, that's fucking dope. And then I was like, yeah, I mean, so I
yeah,
mean,
we're a duo for many years, man.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
dope, man. And I've seen the Gobster and Ether slaps around. I mean, if it's not me putting it up,
yeah,
and
for sure.
then it's something
One
I've
of
seen
us.
out there. So yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, lots of him, man. He's a good
Yeah,
friend of
that's good, man. Um, so on that, are there any like writers when you were coming up, when you started writing, and even today, who are some writers out there that you admire, and what is it about their work that because you have amazing work, right? So
Oh yeah,
like
for sure.
like your artist, your favorite artist kind of thing. You know what I
Uh,
mean? Like that fanboy kind of shit.
so I was about 13, and me and Gobster went out to hip hop in the park in Berkeley, People's Park, for the
Okay.
art show.
Okay.
So we're watching everybody paint, chilling, and we're chilling on this bench, and we seen him painting, and here walks up plant trees, and I'm
Oh
like,
shit.
yeah, yeah. He asked for a light. He asked for a light or something, right?
Yeah.
So it's him, and he sits down. Then Check walks up.
Oh
Check sits down,
shit.
and we're young kids, so they're a little older, you know what I mean? And I'm like, holy shit, this is the tree dude, And I tell him, hey man, are you tree dude? He's like, I've never been called tree dude, but yeah, I guess I'm him. And I was like, well, what do you want to be called? And he's like, tree master. And I was like, all right, tree dude. Yeah, but hey, man, they were really cool, dude. And like, I've seen them up a lot of places. And
Yeah.
till this fucking day, man, those dudes are still killing it. Still got the passion, still got the vibe, still out there getting it. You know what I mean? It's in
Yep.
them and they can't stop. And I look up to them a lot, man.
Yeah.
Check pop, check pop, plant trees. They're just, dude, they're it.
Yeah. Yo.
Uh, there's other writers as well. Soak Tio. That dude's creative as fuck. He's always blowing my mind, dude, with the stuff he does. Um, I mean, there's a lot of writers out there, man. Sugar, that girl's crazy. She don't stop. she pushing me to do shit. There's a lot of them, man. A lot of people, and I mean, even these young cats, that I see and shit. They like I see them progressing, and I'm just like, dude, you're inspiring. You know what I mean? You're getting it like a lot faster than I did. You know what I mean? And you can just
Yeah.
tell that they're gonna go somewhere if they stick with it.
Yeah.
So that's the inspiration as itself.
So what is it like, we're part of a generation where there was no social media, then all of a sudden you have social media, and then you have, like, I was having a conversation with Earwig Ecos, shout out to Earwig about this. We were talking about how the internet and fucking social media has changed the way that graffiti is. Like, people do shit for just the snap of the gram or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and it becomes more about like how many likes you can get on a certain image kind of shit, as opposed to
Yeah, a
like
lot of
actually.
people.
Yeah. So what are
Yeah.
your thoughts on that?
Uh, Social media killed the vibe for graffiti in a way.
Hmm.
It promoted it a lot in other ways.
Yeah.
Um, back when I started graffiti, no one was selling canvases and doing this,
Yeah.
doing that. We were just getting up, and to actually be able to see graffiti, you had to go walk the tracks.
Yep.
You wasn't doing it from your couch with the Simpsons on. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
you had to
Exactly.
get up to go. It was dedication to it. You
Yep.
know. So in that aspect, it took a lot away from it. Uh,
Yeah.
and then you got people doing it for the likes, which sucks too. It should be your passion, and even if people don't like
Yep.
this shit, that shouldn't discourage anybody. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, there's pros, there's cons, but yeah, it took it away a little bit from me.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still get out there. I still
Yeah.
gotta get it for sure, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you're trying to make it as an artist. A lot of us have full-time jobs, right? Like I think I mentioned to you, this is like my second over 2 decades of doing this shit and
Yeah.
having a full-time job the entire time trying to make things work, right?
It's hard.
And and
Hiring.
yeah, and the beauty of social media is that you can connect with artists all over the world, and people will find out about your work just using a simple hashtag. And that's the beauty of social media. The negative thing about social media is like people feel it's just about vanity, and like style um is generated based off of like a photo that you see. And the good, I mean, there's so much good and so much bad that
Yeah.
like it really depends on what the person's motive is, and what they're trying to accomplish, right? So um our take on social media is, let's use it as a tool for change,
Mhm.
social change, for creating influence in a positive manner, in order to educate the public about shit that really matters, things like that. So
Exactly.
um and part of the reason that we're doing this podcast, and putting this stuff out there is to also shine light on the aspects of what people may disregard graffiti as vandalism, and vandalism as something negative, and why we believe that the freedom of creative expression is important, and that all aspects of art are important as well. And there's boundaries and guidelines and things like that. We're not going to use the time right now to get into that shit, um, but anyway, that's kind of our take. So one other thing I was going to ask you was, I think we had talked about this before, probably in like an Instagram chat or something. I'd asked you about crews that you rep. I think because when our social media team is trying to use hashtags, they want to make sure that we have
Yeah.
the right crews that are mentioned in each of the posts.
Yeah.
But I think you had mentioned that like you're not in a crew, or you do rep a crew, or
No crew, man. Just me.
okay,
Uh, yeah, I'm solo bolo, man, but I'm all I need. The one man army.
yeah,
Uh, I don't know. I used to be in a crew DMA way back in the day, and then people lost touch. People moved away, so it just felt like it was me rocking it. I
yeah,
didn't even talk to them, and I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna stick with my name. So I
yeah,
dropped the crew, and ever since then I've been solo, man. I mean, I don't mind crews. Everybody, people are fucking killing it, and their crews be killing it. And I love to see when crews come together and go do a roller together. You know what I mean? Get
yeah.
together. That's awesome. I love that. But yeah, I've been asked to be in a couple crews. There's probably only one crew that I would be in if that ever came my way. But
Yeah,
other than that, man, I'm just solo and I like it, dude. I do this shit for me. It's
yeah,
a good output. It's a healthy output. I could be doing a lot worse things. It's
yeah,
all expression. I get to express myself.
yeah,
So yeah, you know what I mean. It's just me.
yeah. So you like it that way because you don't have any, I guess you don't have to deal with politics when you're solo too.
Exactly. If someone else has a problem, then it's your problem. You know what I mean? That goes kind of you're in a
yeah,
crew. So I just do my thing. I hardly go over people, man, to be honest with you. Like kids, and I go to, the yards and be like, oh, we could kill that. Like, nah, he came out here and put his time and effort in it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't mind just walking the tracks, like I said, man. I can go out there
yeah,
and peep something. Yeah, the spot's all taken up. Let's keep it moving,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So, yeah, man, I'm not really into the politics. I'm not really into the beefs. Just here to paint.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool,
yeah,
man. Yeah, you can get with that.
yeah,
So I know that both you and I are dads, because like when we linked up,
yeah,
I've seen your son.
yeah,
Your son's big, dude. Is he like, I think like he looks like he works out or something. Um, one thing about being a dad and graffiti, um, when we're out and about, and I'm putting up slaps, or if there's other things that are going on, and my daughter sees it. She's gotten into the habit now. I mean, she's turning 4 next week, and you
there you
know
go.
before the age of 4, she's already had slaps in her hand.
Hmm.
um when we're out, and those little tiny baby stickers
Yeah,
that they
yeah,
that they make. She had some in her pocket, and she'd be out there like putting those up, right, like on the little light pole, or the big light pole or whatever. And
yeah.
in the house, because we're all quarantined now, she's got her puffy stickers, and she's like peeling them off, and like the walls and the doors and all that, they all got slaps on them, right? We're not taking them
And
off.
you can't get mad. You
Yeah,
can't say, "Oh, right on the
no,
wall."
exactly, right.
Been through
Thankfully,
that.
she hasn't tagged on wall. Well, actually, no, I take that back. She has written on walls, but we haven't. We're not scolding her for it.
Definitely,
Um,
definitely.
but what's your take on Graf and being a dad? Like, does your son know about your work, and is he curious about it? And
Oh yeah.
what's that like?
Yeah, he's curious about it. He's really into video games, which is
Okay,
cool, to each their own. Uh, he likes to draw. He likes to paint.
okay,
He knows what I do. Definitely, he's out there
yeah.
with me. I
Is he a
can't go.
lookout?
He's a horrible lookout. He's the worst. He's the worst. Cops are coming. What? I got you. Like, oh man. And he'll do it like 8 times in a row. Like,
That's no bueno, dude.
yeah, yeah. I looked at a few times. Yeah, I can't go anywhere without not getting a shot. So he's lived it since he's been born.
Nice.
He likes it. He like I show him everything I do as soon as I come home.
Yeah.
There's nights I go out, I make sure I kiss him on the head, tell him be good. He's the man of the house when I'm gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, he likes it. We go to spots. He's been to a lot of cool places. He's been to a lot of cool places that a lot of people wish they knew where at.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's been there. He's been to some awesome spots, So I can
That's
just
dope.
imagine the stories he's gonna have when he's older to tell everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
for
dope,
sure.
man. That's dope. And you would be okay with him growing up and like deciding to, what if he's Ether too? What if he carries on the name?
That'd be awesome, man. I'd be down.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's gonna be pretty old when I stop. So
Yeah,
we'll
that's
see how
true.
that goes.
Or
He's
y'all
got to
can
put him in the wheelchair, and I got to put up slats.
y'all can do write the same name and be
That'd
up
be cool.
everywhere. You know what I
Different
mean?
styles, you know what I mean? That'd be
Yep.
cool. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. I'm
Um.
sure he'll jump into it at some time.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, if he has anything of me in him, you know what I mean? He's gonna find it for sure.
Right. So one other thing was like your work has so many varying styles. Like there's character work, there's letter form, there's just like I know you talked about early development in art. Like you love the comic books that you were reading. I
Yeah.
think a lot of us, in fact, like we're really into that generation of comics like Marvel and DC and things like that. Uh, what would you say inspires your work now? Like the messaging or the format of what you're doing? Like what kind of things do you draw inspiration from?
I mean, I draw inspiration from everywhere, literally everywhere. My mind doesn't stop running. I'll see
Yeah.
some color blend or some layers of something or some mechanical something, and it'll give me an idea. And I'll think of it and be like, oh, I got to do that, And 2 minutes later, see something else, and the other one disappears. You know what I mean? I'm always battling my mind with ideas, man. It just never stops. Uh, mostly though, I just paint how I'm feeling. Or when I created that piece, or drew it, or sketched it out. You know what I mean? How I was feeling.
Yeah.
I try to put that on the wall.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, but other inspirations is, dude, everybody just out there killing it, like getting
Yeah.
it. And, it's like I said, it's an expression and no one can tell you no.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it. It's a healthy output for me because I feel like I could be doing a lot worse things and have and switched over to it,
Yep.
which probably saved my life,
Yeah. That's
might
good
have
to hear.
ruined it. Who knows? No. No, but it's a great output, man. It does it for me for sure.
Yeah.
It's a great form of expression. I like to put my message out there, how I'm feeling. I do that a lot. The character work, letters they do it, but they only do it to so many people. So sometimes you got to like break it down and put a character on the wall so they can feel it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people like that. I just started doing characters recently actually, and I like it, man. It's a great way to express
Dope,
yourself
dude.
and show it on the wall.
That witch piece was dope. Like I
Right
almost
on.
wanted to wait until Halloween to post it, but but
I
I'm
can't
sure.
wait.
Yeah, I was like, this is too sick, dude. This is way too sick.
Yeah, I like that one, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son was with me when I did that. He cried the whole time.
Why? Is he
It's
scared?
hot. It was like 103
Oh
or
fuck.
something. And we were under a bridge, and he kept saying these bugs were landing on him, and he was whining. And I just kept telling 10 more minutes. He's like, it's been an hour and a half, Dad. Like, come on, you keep telling me 10 minutes. Yeah, I had fun at least.
Yeah, yeah.
I had to spoil him after, but you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Good kid, man, for being patient. Shout out to your son for if he's listening to this when we publish it.
Oh, he will.
Um, this your dad means well. He's training you well. If you could stand the heat, you won't have to get out the kitchen. You know what I mean?
Right.
You'll be in there cooking,
With
and
that.
know that your dad's making a name for himself, and he's with the right people to make it happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, for sure. On that note, uh, one thing that I wanted to ask regarding kids, the youth, inspiring others that, you know, I feel like you and I grew up in a generation where there was no internet and like you had to go out and get shit. Like I
Yes.
remember going to the comic book store in order to actually see real art, or having to go to like maybe Safeway or Lucky's and go to the magazine section and
Mm,
look for like I remember I was like, if they didn't have comic books, I was flipping through a magazine that talked about art in movies, like
yeah.
horror movies and shit like that.
Yeah.
You,
Anything, man.
yeah, just to find like something that looked really creative that you try to draw inspiration from. But
Yeah.
today, like the kids have Instagram, they got fucking TikTok, they got
Yeah.
Facebook, they got you have Google, like you think of something
Yeah.
and you can find an image. You know what I mean?
In two
Like
seconds.
yeah, like dude, and
It's at their fingertips now, man. It's crazy that
yeah, it's
the amount of things you can do nowadays is wild, man. It's
I know.
everything in front of you. There's no excuse not to create and to do your thing, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
So
well, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what would you just say to because kids have access so quickly to a lot of this stuff? What would you say to aspiring artists, the youth that are looking to start a career in art, or if they're thinking about graph,
Yeah.
what would you say to them?
Well, first I'd say I'd probably say just always stay true to yourself, man. And, do whatever you feel that is your passion. It's anything that you feel that's a good output for you, or something you love. Don't let anybody tell you that it's wrong. Don't let anybody stop you. Don't let anybody tell you they don't like it. You're doing this for you. Stay true to yourself. Never change. It doesn't matter what other people think. If it makes you happy, stick with it. Just kill it, man. Do your thing. Let it vibe. Let it come
Yeah,
freely. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Definitely, definitely.
yeah. As long as you're not hurting anybody, right? And as
Oh,
long
no,
as it's like,
none of that. None of that.
yeah,
Humble and good
um,
vibe.
yep, exactly. Yeah, man. I think the the last couple questions I was going to ask you were, what is it that I mean, like right now, you're killing it in the street. Like I've seen the work that you've done on canvases, the submission that you gave us. Oh my God, dude, those cans are fucking killing it. Like,
Thank
yo,
you. Thank you.
people
Got it.
haven't even seen it yet on social media. You know what I mean? Like,
Right on.
and that's inspired a movement. Like you gave us the cans, and we told the homies like, yo, this is the first submission. Like when I
Right.
posted that image of blank cans
Yeah, yeah.
on
You have to,
Instagram,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like you're the first one to say something, and I was like, hell yeah, like dude, take all the cans if you want. I told you like it's really just for the love, like just
Right.
whatever you want
Yeah.
to do. And
Thank
thankfully you brought it back, and that
you.
inspired others. You know what I mean? So like really, you've been the catalyst for sure. Like
Yeah.
you're championing like this movement, and
Right.
I think that what's progressed since that period of time is we've launched the design lab, and we have artists that we're gonna help start their own brands. Like it's
I love
crazy.
what you're doing, man.
Yeah, it's nuts. And what I would say is my question to you is what is it that you want to do with your art? Do you like, what do you see the future of your work to be? Because you have so much, like, I don't want to call it potential, but I want to say like it's more than just potential. Like you can translate the work that you're doing into a tangible expression of shit that people will wear on clothing. Like you could publish a book of the work that you have. Like if you think visionarily about like, so what is it that you decide or want to do with your work. And I don't want to put any pressure. Like, I'm not trying to be like Puff Daddy and you know what I mean? Like,
I'm going to go to the jungle, man, and they're going to come out 10 times heavier. Nah, man, all of the above, really. You know, I'm dropping a shirt this month, so that's going to be pretty cool.
Okay.
It's my second shirt. This one's going to be a little more technical. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, man. You know, we got a book going for the legal art I did in downtown Oakland, the Breonna Taylor. And
nice.
yeah, we got that in the book. What's going on, which is positive vibes. You know what I mean? Definitely what's going on right now. You know, I said I got into doing the characters a little more. So I don't know, man. I want to take it to the next step. I want a huge wall. You know, I've done big things, you know, and on walls illegally, you know, and try to treat it like it was a legal wall. But I want to do something huge, man. I want to get on some scaffolding and try something I got to grit out. You know, that's probably my next big accomplishment. I'm gonna try to get to, man. Try to do something huge that'll touch people for sure.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. Like, when we think about this, so there's been wall space in the city that we've actively been trying to negotiate. This one spot, I can't really talk about it until it's like really legit. So it's good to know that like that's one thing on your radar that you're trying to accomplish, and just speaking that to the universe and letting me know is something that will allow me to find additional things for you. So when we get to that point, you know, I'll definitely make sure that that you're on the list of folks that we hit up for that. So and I guess the last question is for anybody else out there listening tonight, today, in the morning, whenever you're listening to this, wherever you are, what do you have to say? What's the last message that you want to say to anybody out there?
I appreciate you guys following my never-ending journey. You know what I mean? Giving me all love. I really love what you guys are doing. Everybody check the Method Makers out, man. They're out here killing doing a lot of things for
Thank you, brother.
And for the children, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm for, you know what I mean? I got the youngest of my own, so just trying to push them in the right direction is a blessing. Everybody out there, man, just, you know, try to stay positive. I know everybody goes through stuff, you know, stay strong, keep pushing. Positive vibes, stay blessed.
Right on. Thank you, brother. Yo, I want to thank Ether, the one and only Ether One from the Bay Area, for coming through and showing love to the Method Makers podcast. Check us out on the Method Makers social distance, or I should say Method Made Design Lab social distance show when we launch. If you're listening to this on any medium, either the podcast, on our website, or on Instagram, just know that there's a lot more big things to come. Ether, I want to thank you for your time, brother. It's been an honor. I look forward to doing more things with you, man. And you know, we'll get it sewn up. We'll get a big wall for you and the homies, and we'll have to do something soon.
I'm down, man. Thanks for having me, brother.
Yeah, for sure.
Take care.
All right.
All right, y'all. Thank you for listening to this edition of the Method Makers podcast. Be sure to check out themethodmakers.com to learn more about all the artists we support. Check out all the links below to dive deeper into the projects that the artist is currently working on. Remember to subscribe to our podcast for your constant dose of the Method Makers, courtesy of the Method Made Design Lab. Peace to you and yours, and we'll catch you soon.